4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. The Lakers are the champions.
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good! 2 seconds left. The Lakers take the lead.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
To be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
To disrupt Rondo, he puts it in. Here's Davis, 4-3 in the win. Oh, it's good! Anthony Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Organization want their respect, Laker Nation want their respect, and I want my damn respect too.
What's going on, Lakers fans? This is the Let's Go Lakers podcast. I'm your host, Mike Andrade. Well, it definitely feels good to be not only a Lakers fan, but a fan of LA sports in general, as the LA Dodgers are going to the World Series. Let's give it up for the Dodgers. Let's hear those claps. The Dodgers, as many of you are, fans are, just because I know you're listening to this podcast, so I can assume that you're a Dodger fan. But the Dodgers are going to the World Series versus the New York Yankees. It's going to be an exciting one. This is probably the most anticipated World Series matchup in a very long time. And this is probably what the MLB has wanted for many, many years. And now they're getting it. But it's going to be an exciting one. This one's going to be full of stars, not only Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, but the Yankees, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and those cast of characters over there. So this is baseball's wet dream right here. So it's definitely going to be an exciting thing to watch. Game 1 is on Friday, and let's go Dodgers. But let's get into the land of Lakers today. This is the Let's Go Lakers podcast, so of course we have to. But yeah, the Lakers, as opening night approaches, opening night is tomorrow. Can you guys believe that? Tomorrow against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I can't believe that. Time is just flying so fast. Like, it just seemed like a month ago that the season ended. And here we are. Now we're in October, and the season is fast approaching. Preseason's already gone. It's done with. But opening night is tomorrow, and the Lakers have made some moves. They made some moves, signing a couple guys from their preseason roster. First and foremost, Quincy Olivari. He's definitely a guy that has made the most of his time in the games that he played. Olivari appeared in 4 preseason games for the Lakers, averaging 8.8 points per game on 52% shooting from the floor, which is outstanding. I mean, you're thinking about this guy's making half the shots that he's taking, and that's something that even the elite players try to aim for. So, not saying that he's an elite player, but his percentage shootage during the preseason is remarkable, and that's part of the factor of what made the Lakers decide to sign him for the season, going on a 2-way contract. Yeah, just to take the hard work that this guy has put in, a guy that has been through the ringer, in terms of, I think he was going to 2 colleges. He was a transfer from Xavier and at Rice College. So the guy has definitely grinded his way through his collegiate career. I believe was undrafted through the drafting process, and then landed his way to the Lakers. And so a guy like that, a guy who's just going to put in the hard work every single time that he's out on the floor. It's really, really exciting when you have guys that are eager to prove themselves, and each and every time that they're out on the floor, that you're going to get 110% out of them because they haven't reached that contract status yet. And hopefully, the opportunities that he does get in the limited time that he is going to see on the floor for the Lakers, hopefully he takes advantage of that time. And even during practice, hopefully he just takes advantage of it, continues to take advantage of the opportunity he's given during practice, and then hopefully, the Lakers can reap the benefits from it. But not only that, the Lakers have signed guard Grayson Murphy. It does come at an expense. They did waive Kyler Kelly and Jordan Goodwin. And I believe on Olivari's case as well, they waived Colin Castleton. So the best of those players, as I'm sure they're going to try and continue their NBA path, but right now it's just not with the Lakers. And so hopefully, Castleton, Goodwin, and Kelly can, find their way through different teams, and then maybe one day they can be back with the Lakers. We'll see. But the Lakers did sign Grayson Murphy. Murphy appeared on the Lakers 2024 Summer League team. Murphy didn't appear for the Lakers in any preseason games, nor was he on the training camp roster, but he was on the Summer League roster, and he appeared in 23 games for the Dresden Titans in the German Pro A-League in 2003-24, averaging 13.8 points per game on 43.3% shooting from 3. He also averaged 7.1 rebounds and 4.5 assists. So all around a pretty decent player. But he's going to be signed to a two-way, so don't expect that Murphy is going to see much to any playing time for the LA Lakers, as he'll probably be with the South Bay Lakers most of the time. On Thursday, Dalton Knecht lit up the basketball world as he lit up the Phoenix Suns during the Lakers' second-to-last preseason game, as he went for 35 points and scored the Lakers' last 20 points of the game for a Lakers victory. He scored 35 points alongside Anthony Davis's 35 as well. I was kind of in and out of watching the Laker game, and I had changed back to the Dodger game, and I kind of really forgot the Lakers were playing. And then my brother walks by, and he goes, "Dude, are you watching the game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm watching the Dodgers game right now. They're kicking ass against the Mets." And he goes, "No, it's Dalton Knecht is going off right now." And I'm like, "What the heck?" So I turned back, and they're in overtime against the Phoenix Suns, and I couldn't believe what was going on. Is this a dream that Dalton Knecht is going off like he's the second coming of Kobe Bryant? I'm not calling him Kobe Bryant, but that's what it seemed like. All jokes aside, this is a really, really positive sign for Lakers Nation. It's a really positive sign for the trajectory of Dalton Knecht. Now, obviously, we need to temper expectations here because it's a preseason game, all right? Anything that happens in a preseason game, you have to have a grain of salt with it and to sprinkle it on because it's just a preseason game. But with that said, nobody just scores 20 points in a row for the sake of it. Nobody just has 35 points because they're lucky. So for him to score 35 points in a game, for him to have scored the last 20 points of the game that went into overtime, and in a game in which players are actually really trying to win the game because they're trying to show out. This is the second to last preseason game, so this might be the last opportunity for some guys to have and to make some noise. So guys are really trying out there. They're really trying to play defense. They're really trying to show out so they can, in some cases, guys who are not signed to a contract, showcase themselves for one. So Dalton Knecht, he had struggled a bit the first two preseason games, which is naturally to be expected. But for him to come out during this game and just to absolutely obliterate the Phoenix Suns in the manner that he did, that just doesn't happen by accident. There's some real tremendous value in this draft pick by the Lakers. There's a lot of tremendous value in Dalton Knecht. Now, what we're going to see during his rookie campaign, who knows? He's just a rookie right now. Could he be a nice piece to this team right now? Absolutely he could. He just showed it. But is there going to be a lot of moments in which he struggles? Yes, because he's a rookie. And not only just because he's a rookie, he's a young player. The verdict is still way out on his ability and what he can do in the NBA. But with that said, there's a lot of value in Dalton Knecht. His shooting, JJ Redick said, is near elite. What did he say, in the top 10% or 2%, whatever it was, in the percentage of shooters that he's seen? That is coming from high praise, considering that JJ Redick was an elite three-point shooter himself. Dalton Knecht's upside can be tremendous for the Lakers. I mean, not only can he be a valuable role player for this team, but he may down the line be a starter or maybe a star for this team. That's the trajectory in which we see. But we need to temper expectations as well because he is a rookie. And he's going to go through what rookies go through. He's going to have moments where he looks great, and he's going to have moments where it looks not as polished. I think at least for the first 5 to 10 regular season games that we're going to see a lot of Dalton Knecht. He's going to see a lot of playing time coming off the bench. He might be even the 6th, 7th guy off, maybe not the 6th man, but the 7th or 8th guy coming off the bench. That's how much promise that JJ Redick and the rest of us see from him. And who knows what direction that's going to go. But I fully expect, because he's a rookie and he's a young player, that we're going to see moments where it's not going to be as flashy as people think. And you know what? I do keep catching myself in this. He is a young player, like I just have said multiple times. He's a young player, but he's also 23 years old, and that's probably why we're seeing the success at a higher rate than normal. If you're talking about a regular rookie, a rookie that's 18, 19, 20 years old, around that range, they're going to have a lot more growing pains than what a 23-year-old does, because a 23-year-old is a lot more mature than an 18, 19, 20-year-old. Dalton Knecht has seen a lot of basketball, but he has experienced more basketball than them, and he has had more time to perfect his craft than an 18, 19-year-old. And I fully believe that's the reason why we're seeing the success that we have because of his age, even though I kept calling him a young player, and he is still a young player, but not young like an 18, 19-year-old who still has a lot more growing pains to go through. The one thing that Dalton is going to have going for him is when a player performs for the Lakers, when you're in the purple and gold and you're wearing this jersey and wearing the uniform and you're putting out for the team, Lakers fans are going to pay that tenfold, and they're going to be rabid for this guy. He's already a fan favorite for Lakers Nation. I guarantee you, I will bet my entire paycheck that when he subs into the game opening night, that he's going to have a round of applause considering what he just did in the preseason. So Lakers Nation is totally going to be behind this guy. But like I said, Lakers Nation, we really need to tamper our expectations just because of the growing pains that he's going to go through. But without a doubt, we're going to be supporting him. But opening night is tomorrow night. And let's talk about some rotations that I think we're going to see for at least the first 5, 10, even 15 regular season games. So JJ Redick has already committed to the starting five of D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron, and AD. So that's going to be our starting five. And I fully suspect, notwithstanding injuries, that's going to be the starting lineup that we're going to see when healthy and available. But we do have still some injuries on this team. So ruled out is going to be Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood. So we're not going to see those guys for at least the first month of the season. So let's put that out there. Maybe Jared Vanderbilt might come back 2-3 weeks in, but for sure we're not going to see Christian Wood for at least a month. But some rotation guys that I really suspect that are going to be heavily involved in the team. I really think that JJ Redick is going to have like a 10-man rotation, maybe some nights 9, but I think he's really going to go with a 10-man rotation. Guys, at least that you're going to see tomorrow night and going forward is going to be Max Christie, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, Dalton Connect, and Gabe Vincent. Those 5 guys right there, they're going to be fixtures in the rotation. Christie is a guy that I really see going forward that he's going to have a much upgraded role on this team. Defensively, we're going to have to rely on him to cover guards, bigger guards in this league, and he's going to have to showcase his abilities on defense. And not only that, he's going to have to showcase his ability to shoot, in which he has done when he has seen playing time throughout his first 2 years. But it's going to have to be at a much more elevated role, and it's definitely going to have to be much more consistent. Cam Reddish, he showed last year throughout the in-season tournament that he can play really good defense on guys like Kevin Durant and others. So we're going to have to rely on that defensive capability if he's going to be in the rotation. His shooting is not there. We really can't rely on him on offense too much. So that's why on defense, he's really going to have to stand out for his defensive abilities. He's really going to have to stay with guys that are smaller than him, and he's also going to have to defend guys that are bigger than him. So like Christie, he's going to have to show this. He's going to have to show his abilities much more consistently. Jackson Hayes is going to be an important one. As the Lakers continue to find their way without a true big man, with Christian Wood being injured and not necessarily having the ideal center that they need, Jackson Hayes is going to have to step up big time. We can't just play Anthony Davis 48 minutes a game. So Jackson Hayes is going to have to be much more than just a lob threat that he was last season. He's really going to have to show it on defense, because far too much last year when we took Anthony Davis out of the game, the Lakers lost the ability to not only to defend paint, but we lost the ability to stretch the floor defensively and to cover guys and to switch. So Jackson Hayes is going to have to take a much needed leap in his defensive prowess to get the job done, where it's not going to be a liability for him to be out on the floor. Dalton Connect, pretty much everything that I said previously. He's going to be a guy that is going to light it up at some times. He's going to have great moments, but then also, like I said, he's going to have times where it's going to look a little shaky because he's a rookie. But he is going to have that time. I think JJ Redick does truly believe in his abilities, and that's why he's going to be out there. Gabe Vincent. Vincent's a guy that's going to be coming off injury. He's already played throughout the preseason. He's really going to have to be the guy that, when the guards are off the floor, that's going to have to carry the load offensively. He did show the ability during the 2023 NBA Finals that he can take that leap, but it's going to have to be at a much more higher volume when he does come off the bench and he is leading the second unit, because I really think he is going to be a guy that's going to be leading the second unit out there. He's pretty much going to be our sixth man. Maybe not literally the sixth man, but he's going to be the point guard out there. He's going to be the quarterback when he's leading the second unit out there. So he's going to have to be a guy that's going to, one, hopefully stay healthy. Hopefully he can show that he can stay healthy. And number two, a guy that we can rely on to carry the second unit when AD and LeBron are off the floor. So those are 5 guys that I really think are going to be fixtures in the lineup and the rotation. And hopefully these are guys that can come through in each and every way that we anticipate for them to be. But let's see. Let's see how things work out in the rotation. Injuries will happen at some point. Hopefully they're not going to overtake the season like they have previous seasons back. But things are going to happen. Players are going to be mixed in and out, and then players are going to come back from injury. Vanderbilt is going to come back at some point soon, hopefully. Wood is going to come back at some point soon. So guys are going to be mixed in. Roster moves are going to be made throughout the season. So let's see how the rotations end up winding by the time we get to the playoffs. And that's not even talking about if we even make a trade. So we have a long ways to go before that, though. But as for right now, that's how the rotations are going to look. All right, so let's talk about the first several games of the Lakers season. As everyone knows, that tomorrow night is opening night against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a game against a heavily favored Western Conference opponent. Last year, the Minnesota Timberwolves made it to the Western Conference Finals, led by Anthony Edwards, and I fully expect that Edwards is going to carry the Timberwolves to another great season. You know, the Timberwolves are coming off the Karl Anthony Towns trade. They just got back Julius Randle, so there's still going to be some intermixing of their rotations. There's going to be some chemistry that they're going to have to work through, but this is a real test for the Lakers, and it's the first test of the season. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, to say the least. And the Timberwolves are an interesting team. So let's see how Edwards and the Timberwolves carry out on opening night. After that, we have Phoenix. We have Phoenix on Friday. Phoenix is a team that we saw during the preseason a couple times, and we're going to be seeing them 4 more times during the regular season. That will be a road game, the Lakers' first road game. So let's see how the Lakers do on the road and how they manage. After that, we're going to have... Actually, that's going to be a back-to-back. So after the Phoenix game on the 25th, we're going to come back home on Saturday, October 26th, and we're going to play the Sacramento Kings. You know, I feel like every game in the Western Conference is not going to be an easy matchup. I mean, you think about every team that we're going to be playing in the West, and it's not an easy day. It's not a day off. You know, so having the back-to-back against the Sacramento Kings, even though it's at home, it's not going to be a picnic day for the Lakers. The Kings are a team looking to make another splash, in which they did a couple years ago. And anytime the Kings get to play the Lakers, they're looking to come in and kick their ass. The Kings just signed DeMar DeRozan during the offseason, so they're going to come together and prove that they're a Western Conference favorite. After that, we see the Phoenix Suns again on Monday, October 28th. So seeing the Phoenix Suns a lot here. So it's pretty good that we're going to be able to see this team because, again, they have Kevin Durant. They have Devin Booker. They have Devin Booker, so this is a formidable playoff team here. And also Bradley Beal, so you can't sleep on the Phoenix Suns. So it's good that we're going to be seeing them a lot, and especially the first few games of the season. Then we're on the road. The Lakers have an early season road trip coming up after those games. So the Lakers will be on the East Coast taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They'll be playing the Toronto Raptors on November 1st. They go to Detroit on November 4th, and then they end things out in Memphis. So how many games is that? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? 8 games. Let's see here. So previewing the first 8 games of the season, I think the Lakers can do well here. It's going to be really, really tough for the Lakers to get victories because they're playing teams that are really, really good. You know, like we just talked about, the Timberwolves are a team that just made the Western Conference Finals. The Suns are a formidable playoff. The Cavs just made the Eastern Conference Finals, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have the Raptors. Then you have the Pistons, which, you know, those are 2 teams that are kind of lackluster, but still not an easy day when you're on the East Coast. Then you have John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. So all things considered, I think the Lakers can go, at the very least here, 5-3. That's what I'm hopeful for. If the Lakers can go 5-3 during this stretch, the early part of the stretch here of the season, I think that's something that they can do. 5-3 would be very, very hopeful. Obviously, I'd want them to do better. Hopefully, maybe 6-2, which, you know, that, you know what, honestly, they could do 6-2, but it would have to be something where we see the team coming together really early in the season and looking like they're in mid-season form. 5-3 or 6-2. Where do you guys think that the Lakers are going to fall? Or could they be 7-1 or possibly 8-0 to start the season? Could it be possible? Who knows? But I'm thinking either 5-3 or 6-2. But let me know what you guys think. Alright guys, so it is time for This Week in Lakers History, and we're going to go back to 2002. More than 20 years ago. It was right after the Lakers had just beaten the Sacramento Kings in the Western Conference Finals, and the Lakers and the Kings met up in the preseason, but they hadn't forgotten what had happened during the Western Conference Finals, and blood was boiling. So very early into this game, Rick Fox had the ball near the right elbow of the court and was being defended by the Kings' Doug Christie. Fox, who had bad blood with the Kings, and specifically Christie, didn't like the way Christie was defending him, and abruptly gave Christie an elbow to the jaw. You know, just as any NBA player would do during a play in which a defender was covering them tight, right? Well, what ensued afterwards was pretty much out of the WWE playbook. Or as Jim Ross would call it, a slobber knocker ensued. Let's play the footage.
He's just trying to find a teammate. Yeah. Offensive foul on Rick Fox. Christie put it back in Fox's face and pushes him back again. And we have pushing and shoving between the Kings and Lakers here early. I told you it was postseason intensity in the preseason, and right away it begins.
Fox must have had some Oz flashbacks. He was going after him. My goodness. That's something you do not see in preseason basketball.
No, we saw a couple of game suspension for a preseason altercation handed out earlier today, but 2 minutes and 7 seconds in, first quarter of the final preseason game. Some serious shoves exchanged after the Fox-Christie exchange.
Well, it started with the Rick Fox elbow to Doug Christie's face. Doug Christie took exception to that, knocked the ball back up in Rick Fox's face, and I wasn't sure initially if it's one of those elbows where you mean to hit the guy in the chops or you just turn and he's there. You see Fox right there, and I'm not sure at that point if he jets the elbow out a little bit. He takes exception. There you go. Ball to the face, hand to the face.
Ooh.
Another hand to the face.
No, punch to the chin.
And in the regular season, I know if you throw a punch, whether you hit or not, that's automatic one-game suspension. Well, I guess the one thing you wonder, does that constitute a punch right there?
Well, both have been ejected. That certainly does. There's no question about that.
That's an uppercut.
So Fox and Christie have both been ejected here in the opening 2:07, and Christie taken by security back to the locker room. A quick night. You saw some ill-advised fan throw something, and Staples Center security right there. Meantime, they're racing back into the tunnel. There's a fight going on between the two as they were being ejected. A bizarre scene here at Staples to open in the end of the preseason. This is out of the WWE. Chairs are being thrown. All the Sacramento Kings are back there. None of the Lakers. I don't know if it was Fox as he was being escorted out. Devon's is trying to keep the peace.
Big Daddy, too.
Yeah, O'Neal has come around, and he's trying to lay his order. And now Devon's and O'Neal are pushing. It's O'Neal's words that have infuriated this rivalry. The gentleman there is the head of Sacramento Kings security. Shaq might be trying to keep the peace. It was, in fact, Rick Fox who went back there and continued the altercation with Christie. What about this? Rick Adelman has gone back to try to keep things cool. And security following up the tunnel here at Staples.
My favorite part about that is just Shaq being there and being like, nobody step on my big toe. What a great memory for Lakers fans and Kings fans. That just brings me back as a kid and brings a smile on my face every time I watch that. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for tuning into the Let's Go Lakers podcast. If you are listening, I am internally grateful for your viewership. Guys, it's been a hell of a month so far. We have a lot of things that we have produced. So many things on YouTube, Reels, Rams reports, Dodger reports. The Dodgers have been in the postseason, so a lot of stuff that we have made. Check out our social medias, our Instagram, our TikTok, Lace Them Up Sports. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter. Guys, please like, rate, subscribe, all of it, please. We really need your help. And also feel free to reach out to us. We have an email for our wrestling podcast. We have an email for this podcast. It's laceemuptakes@gmail.com. If you guys have any questions you guys want me to answer or anything you guys want us to review, please feel free to write us, and you can DM us on our socials as well. So don't be afraid to do that. All right, you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until next time, let's go Lakers.